Well, welcome back everybody to part 7. And we are going to be looking here at the approach of Glider 4 of D Company, 2nd Battalion, Ox and Bucks Light Infantry. And how they came to be so far off course on D-Day. So this is Operation Tonga. We're talking part 7. And it's the 6th of June. Now, let's just set this let's set this aircraft up. We've got the weather set up. We've got weather with cloud base at 2,000, tops at 5,000. So let's turn off the lights. We're talking probably midnight. We will put the red lights on, switch off position lights, and take off the beacon lights. So, this is Glider 4. Let's have a look at who's aboard Glider 4. We can come up here. We come to the takeoff roster here, which was done. Glider 4 is this is a list done by Private Dennis Edwards, by the way. So here we go, Glider 4. It was tugged by the Halifax, piloted by Flying Officer Clapperton, and the glider is piloted by Staff Sergeant Lawrence, and his co-pilot was Staff Sergeant Shorter. The platoon in this one was commanded by Tony Hooper, Lieutenant Tony Hooper, and it's got Sergeant Barwick, Corporal Goodsir Bateman, Lance Sergeant Rayner, Corporal Ambrose and Hunt, Private Orwood, Wilson, Hedges, Everett, Sinclair, Waite, Clive, Timms, Whitford, Johnson, Lathbury, Hammond, Frank Gardner, and Jeffrey. It contains also Captain Priday, who is the second in command of D Company, and his clerk, which was Lance Corporal Lamberley. Again, a contingency of sappers is aboard from the 249th Field Company, Lance Sergeant Brown, and sapper Dayton, Guest, Paget, and Roberts. So somewhere coming across the coast, the Halifax pilot has made a navigational error. He has, it is believed that this estuary here, which is the River Dives, has been mistaken for the River Orne estuary over here. And, you know, they wouldn't have the benefit of all of these lights. They do look pretty similar, but and with cloud cover, you can never quite tell. You know, you just need to have a cloud in the wrong position, you know, at a certain time, and you can probably get confused. Of course, they didn't have any of these electrical stuff. Whoa. So the Halifax pilot obviously makes a mistake, realizes what he's done. He's spots, possibly makes a decision. Okay, we're in the wrong place. He turns, presumably, towards his intended target for him as a bomber. And at this point, they're coming across the coast. They should be at about 6,000 feet. Presumably, conversations are happening right now about what they're going to do. By the time they've worked out, maybe they haven't quite worked out what's going on. They're like, oh, you know, what are we going to do? Captain Priday would probably be involved in that conversation. And when they can see that how far, maybe they catch a glimpse of the River Orne in the distance, they probably realise how far they are off target. And presumably at some point they decide, we're not going to make it back over there. You know, we've probably got flak happening, so something's going to have to happen, and they're going to have to head to a different target. So it makes you think, you see, that Captain Priday knew of the other tasks of the Canadian parachute regiment. So he makes a decision. He's maybe even spotted the river bridge and says, "Oh well, if we're going to do anything, let's do this." So they get released over Varaville. We just cut the engines now, and I think he then says, "Right, well, let's head for this bridge over here." So we're going to try and land. And that seems probably the most logical thing to happen. I'll have to do a bit more research into what actually happened on that. But this probably would be the decision that he made. So if anybody has any further information about that, then please put in the comments below or join the Discord channel, and we'll Right, there we go. So let's put the lights back on. And see where we got to. Right, so we're down. And where's our... there we go. which isn't bad. When I did it on Twitch the other day, we landed a little bit closer, but there's a series of bridges along the River Divers. Presumably, this one was a target. I'm not sure if all of these are contemporary. This one may have been, but I think it was quite close to the town. 3, 4, 4. All the way down this way. Presumably somewhere around this area would have been the targets. We'll do a little bit more research on that later. So if anyone knows, then let me know. Now they make the best of the situation, which is what all paratroopers do. They capture the bridge easily, and they then destroy the bridge, and then they decide to try to meet up. So they then have this long journey, 8 miles back towards Pegasus Bridge. They don't meet up with Howard until I think it was the early hours of the 7th. So it takes them 24 hours to get back over to this point here. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that. So we've got D Company now landed. The next thing that happens is Howard is expecting a parachute drop to occur. In this area, and come to start being reinforced. We will be looking at that next time. We also will be so my plan is we'll discuss some of the events that happened during this day, and we'll also be looking but the first thing I want to do will be looking at the raid assault, coup de main assault on the Millville battery here. And that will be next week. You can join me on Twitch. We'll be doing a reconnaissance mission and doing a lot more flying, looking around the battlefield, discussing different aspects of it. We'll look into how Lieutenant Colonel Otway prepares for this mission, and how the D Company is relieved on these bridges and the events surrounding these bridges on those days. So join me. As I say, you can join me on Twitch, or you can join me again here on YouTube. They've also got a channel on Spotify. We'll have the Twitch stuff, so if you don't like Twitch, you can go to Spotify, watch it. You can join the Discord channel and add any information you've got. And I will just keep on plugging away. Just to recap, because the channel's new, the idea of this is we are going to be looking at historical events from the sky. This is the D-Day section. We will be looking at this area. We'll then fly over, we'll look at the US landings on the Kotlin Peninsula. We'll work our way back along the beaches, Utah, um, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. And then we may look at the German responses and we'll look more detail into the Normandy campaign itself beyond the first 24 hours. But the channel's not just about that. We do planning on doing other things, so we might not just stay on this subject, but we'll move across to different ones, come back to this later. That if you go to the Discord, you'll see all the subjects that we're going to cover. There'll be things like Napoleonic Wars, English Civil War, American Civil War, Falklands War, Vietnam War. You can mention it, but it's not just wars. We'll do the history of football clubs. We'll do rivers. We'll do mountains, explorers, all those sort of things as we go forward. So I hope you appreciate it, and we will see you later. Thank you very much.